Hey everyone, Greg here, and today I'm going to go over why is my Google SEO not working for Bing. So before we start, I'm going to show you a website called GS Stat Counter, and basically this shows that Bing overall in the United States makes up about 20% of the search market share because Bing actually powers Yahoo and some of DuckDuckGo's results. So basically optimizing for one engine is across the board for a few others. So the main thing that I want to show you is Bing Webmaster Tools. Now, if you don't have access to this tool, it's free. I'm going to put a link underneath this video so you can see how to add your site into Bing. So first thing I'm going to show you is the appeared in search. We're looking at the last 6 months. A trend like this is for my site, a trend like this tells me that my site is gaining more keywords within Bing's index, and I'm moving up higher, maybe even closer to page 1 for a lot of these terms because the more impressions, basically an impression could be someone who's on Bing, does a search, may not click on my result, but at least it loaded on page 1, so I know I'm going in the right direction. And if you're curious about actual clicks, this is my site within Google Analytics. I'm looking at just organic traffic for the source of Bing. So how did I grow my Bing organic traffic? So here's a few steps. First, most important, submit URLs. Bing is notoriously slower than Google. If you submit a page, let's say you publish a page on your WordPress site, and Google might pick it up in a couple days, but Bing might take a week, might take 2 weeks, depending on how far that page lives down from the root domain. Could even take longer. So I always recommend people submit that page, especially in Bing, because Google might find it pretty fast, but Bing's going to take some time. So the work that you did to create that really great post, have Bing crawl that page immediately. It's going to allow you to actually rank at a faster rate. The second thing is pretty standard, submit your sitemap. When you submit your sitemap, it's just like that, like a direction page, really, for Bing to understand when they come to your site. Okay, here are your most important pages. Now, fun fact about Bing is that they only allow 1% of dirt. So really what that means is that your sitemap can't include 500 errors, 404 errors, 302s, 301s, etc. If you do, Bing's not going to look at it. So make sure that the sitemap that you submit is as close to 100% as possible and clean. Basically, that means all 200 status code. A couple other things too. Ignore URL parameters. So this is really important if you have an e-commerce site and you have a lot of different facet URLs. You have the search box on the site. This is actually where you're going to block all that. So you're going to tell Bing not to look at all these different variations. Really focus mainly on the main sections on your site. You really want to make sure that they're looking at the most important every single day. Crawl control. This is actually a little hidden, I feel like, but this is a really powerful section. So if you use log file analysis for your site, you might notice that the middle of the day really is like your most busy part because you have your marketing campaigns going out, you have your email blast, etc. So you tell Bing within this tool to not crawl your site during these times because you don't want to have a slow experience for your users. Basically what that means is that when Bing bot at 12 in the morning is really crawling my site to understand what's going on, it might be a little bit slower. It might be by just a hair slower, but that always makes a difference too. So I want to make sure that from like a user standpoint that they're not being slowed down by Bing crawling my site, and Bing may or may not be using that as a ranking factor too. If people bounce back to go back to the search results because the page took too long to load, I want to basically give it the best user experience as possible. So this is both technical but also user experience too. So I went over these main things. The next thing I'm really going to show you is the search keywords report. So just like Google Search Console, you're actually going to see the terms that Bing ranks for your site. Actually, and also Bing, as I mentioned, powers Yahoo organic search. You'll see that right up here. So you can see that the terms that you rank for, you can see, actually there's some really interesting things too. So if I click on this Bing reverse image search, I can click on view served pages. I can see that this was the page that it ranked for. It gives me a lot of insight. Actually, if you press this plus button right here, this is actually where Bing gets even more granular compared to Google. So if you ever hear anyone say that that first position makes the difference, they're not lying. In Bing it does. Check this out. When I was position 1, I got roughly around 4 clicks and 13 impressions for that term, but my click-through rate was 30%. When I went to position 2, it went to 13%, position 3, 5%, position 4, 4.44. This is pretty massive. So you want to make sure that you look into this report, because even moving up that one position, it's going to make such a crazy click-through rate difference. So Bing's going to show you this detail. Google does not go into this level of details, so this is actually really important to check out. Another thing that Bing has, which is similar to Google Search Console, is an SEO report section, but what I like about this more is that if you click into this, they're actually going to give you the SEO explanation right here. So basically these pages that I have are just too big in terms of the meta name description. So even though it might not be a direct ranking factor, I know from a user standpoint, I really want to make sure that I don't have that description too long. And finally, the main thing I really want to show you also is the keyword research section. So within Google, I might know the terms that I rank for, but within Bing, I want to make sure I'm going after the right terms too. So, because everyone searches a little bit different. So I'm going to type in search engine optimization. This is important. Change the country from all to the United States or wherever you are located. Do language and go to English for the United States, and then you want to click on this. This is called the strict filter. It's going to actually try to make sure that it shows the most relevant search queries as you can. So already right here I can see that within Bing about 4,000 or so searches are happening within this term for the past 6 months. I can see the trend, and they can also give you a little bit of this money symbol right here, which basically means if you wanted to bid on these terms within Bing ads, roughly how much you would have to pay for. So this is great too if you are a consultant for somebody who is interested in driving more traffic to their site. You can show them that by organically ranking for these terms, this is what the cost per click would be for Bing, and you can really show them the cost savings of your SEO strategy. Same thing with Google too, but spending that extra time to get about 20% of the market share for Bing is absolutely well worth it. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.